You big all sus, yeah. I just doubled up on crypto. I just doubled down on the new vest. Now my check looking like 2 checks. Type of money made me want a 2-step. Who next? This week I be on the moon next. Stock going up like 2x. That's a fast flip like suplex. 2 really stepping like a duplex. You bet never lose change, but I do flex on it.
Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart is looking a little bit concerning. We have bearish divergence inside of bearish divergence. That makes me think we are not going to take out this previous high before we flush down and try to find some support. Try to set some sort of swing low. I think a correction is in the cards. Now, when I saw this bearish divergence a couple of days ago, I thought it played out right here. I thought we found some support right here at 20,400-ish, and I thought that it played out, it's done. But now it's painting bearish divergence again. Now, this doesn't happen a lot. This is really kind of unprecedented. Now, I know it's only the 4-hour chart, but it's important during a possible reversal. People are buying up the market right now. There is a bullish sentiment. Everybody is absolutely euphoric right now. We do have a volume divergence too. We are on lower relative strength and we are on descending volume right here. Look, when the volume comes in, this bearish divergence is telling me that it's probably going to come into the downside, and that is a little bit concerning. Now, the daily chart looks a lot better. The 21, the moving averages, they're all catching up now. It's all the way up to the R3 pivot in about 19,100. So the most bullish scenario for me would be to let this RSI cool down. Look at the daily RSI. It has been cooling down a little bit. I mean, it made it all the way up to 90. All the way up to 90. That's even higher than the last reversal of the market back in 2018. That was the last time it was that high, which is a pretty good signal. I'd like to see it cool down a little bit, down to the R3 pivot, down to the 21, find some support and rip through 21,500, find support up there, and then I will change my mind and be like, bruh, I missed the absolute bottom of the market, and then I start averaging in. Not pretty, but it's kept me alive all these years. You can get wrecked in crypto very easily, so I'm just playing it cautious. I'm getting ready for the accumulation phase for the next bull market. The accumulation phase that I believe is going to start in 2023. That'll bring us to new all-time highs. The one thing that is at all-time highs is, of course, the U.S. national debt. We have blown past the $31.4 trillion debt limit and still climbing. That is 31.5 times higher than the entire crypto market cap. Don't worry though, we're not going to default. They're just going to raise the debt ceiling, issue more treasury notes, and use the money from new investors to pay back old investors. Gary Gensler, where are you at? Why don't we just appoint Caroline Ellison as the new Treasury Secretary? I mean, this is some FTX level God mode going on over here. So we all know we're not paying back this $31.5 trillion. We're broke. We're in crippling debt. We're not paying it back with this $4.6 trillion tax revenue a year and a GDP of only $25 trillion. Now, the household assets are about $142 trillion. If we continue on this route and things don't get worse and we don't get another black swan event in 2027, we are going to be at about $44 trillion in U.S. national debt. With U.S. federal tax revenue projected to be at $7 trillion, okay? U.S. household assets will be $231 trillion by 2027. Maybe the Bitcoin Moon Boys were right all along, because we are supposed to go up another $100 trillion in currency and credit derivatives by 2027. Now that is going to be almost 100 times what it was in the year 2000. No wonder we created our own magic internet money. Yes, crypto did have a rough year, but the amount of M2 money supply that they have to inject into the real economy to keep this Ponzi from collapsing is staggering. And I think it has no choice but to keep inflating this asset bubble, which makes me believe that this next bull run is going to be bigger and wilder than anyone has ever imagined.
Turn those machines back on! Turn those machines back on!
However, not everyone shares my enthusiasm. Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan Chase is not as impressed.
Bitcoin itself is a hyped up fraud. It's a pet rocket.
You're back to that?
Yeah,
Really?
of course.
That's funny. After looking at violation tracker, I'm thinking that he's trying to eliminate his competition for being the biggest hyped up fraud, because JP Morgan has had over $36 billion in penalties since the year 2000, and Jamie Dimon has been CEO since 2005, so it's under his watch. And we're talking serious offenses like market manipulation, money laundering, mortgage abuses, toxic securities abuses. In fact, there is 3 pages right here of violations. That's 223 in total. Maybe he's mad that JP Morgan's valuation is $396 billion and Bitcoin is currently at 407. Step your fraud game up, bro. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing Jamie Dimon being the new CEO of FTX. I mean, bring all of that 30 years of scamming into the crypto world. God knows Sam Bankman-Fried was terrible at it. Now, there are rumors that FTX US might relaunch. John Ray III, the new acting CEO, the guy who is dealing with the bankruptcy, says they are working with a lot of people who see FTX as a viable business model. This caused the FTX native token to pump like crazy. This guy's a magician, a miracle worker. Maybe he can come over here to the Hex community and clean that up too. Right here is actual footage of John Ray III cleaning up all the problems at FTX. Meanwhile, SBF took to Twitter to rail against the CEO that replaced him, the one that is picking up the pieces of FTX US. He is making it sound like it's his fault that FTX US isn't online and people haven't got their money back. SBF must be one of the dumbest people to ever be in crypto. I think he got away with this fraud for so long because no one thought anyone would be as dumb as him to be that over leveraged and to commingle customers' funds that bad. And as far as FTT token goes, you know what to do. I think the whole FTX US restart thing just goes to show you that crypto, Bitcoin is here to stay. It's not going to be banned. It's not going to be canceled. You're not going to be able to stop a $1 trillion market cap in the bottom of a bear market. That's just not going to happen. You're only on the chopping block if you are a small, obscure exchange that nobody has ever heard of, Bitslotto. Now, Bitslotto has been shut down and seized by the DOJ for illicit money transfers of up to $700 million. So far, the DOJ has been able to confiscate $689,000. Good job, guys. You really outdid yourself. Okay, so they kind of missed BitConnect, Terra Luna, Celsius, FTX, Gemini, but they are sending a message. They are showing that the DOJ has teeth and a long reach. They can go and get you anywhere, especially if your nationality is an enemy of the current political party. Is that what happened? I'll leave that to you to decide. Can anything stop the bullish sentiment right now? We have a rate hike in 10 days. We have double bearish divergence. We have Genesis filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to have to shut off all the lights and liquidate everything. It just means they have to restructure. It means that some people won't fully get paid back, like the $3.5 billion in known creditors and the $1 billion in earned customers. Are they going to get paid back? Well, maybe their parent company, DCG, is going to have to sell off assets. And if that happens, what are they going to sell and how much? Can the bulls overcome all this negative sentiment? Will the bears be able to hashtag Operation Liquidate Andrew King? Yes, there is a guy that is up almost $10 million in longs, and the bears are making it a hashtag to liquidate him. That is some hater shit. You guys are really trying to liquidate a dude? Come on, man. It's never a dull day in cryptocurrency land. Now remember, we have the Ethereum Shanghai fork. This is the fork that is going to release all the staked Ethereum. I believe 13% of all Ethereum is staked and locked. Yes, Vitalik has paused withdrawals on Ethereum. You cannot sell them, you cannot unlock them. Well, Shanghai is going to change that. Now I'm hearing rumors inside the Ethereum community that the top 30 developers want to push that date back. They say that they are feeling rushed and it might hurt the Ethereum ecosystem. I don't know if they're just worried about a dump or what, but it's looking like Shanghai might be delayed. Now, that is about $24 billion worth of Ethereum, okay? 13% of the supply. Now, that is not the only thing that has locked tokens. Here is an actual chart right here. Token unlock estimates of about 102 billion worth of unlocks in 2023. So let's take a look at this chart. It's really no surprise that XRP is leading the list at 17.98 billion in unlocks. They have been dumping on their community for years and years and years, and they will continue to do so. Filecoin at 4.98 billion. That was a bit of a surprise for me. Chainlink at 2.98 billion. ApeCoin at 2.3 billion. You got to watch out for these big Silicon Valley elite projects, you know, like stuff like Aptos, stuff like Solana. You know, they have a lot of VC investors, a lot of insiders, and these people are vested, but they get unlocked and they go straight to dump. So you got to be very, very careful. But some of this you got to take with a grain of salt, because I doubt Steppen has the liquidity to dump $1.4 billion. Hex on the daily chart was actually looking pretty good. I mean, it made this move and it was confluent with the RSI. There was no bearish divergence like Bitcoin. However, we did not take out the previous high before D01 came back once again and dumped the market. Hex blew up once again in spectacular fashion. Now, I actually think this is a little bit bullish. Yes, he extracted $3.6 million out of the Hex community, and yes, about 54% of the version 2 Uniswap liquidity, but he is almost out of funds. I think he only has a few 100,000 left, and we can really not climb out and go to new all-time highs with a parasite like that, with a wallet like that, that's forever dumping and never quits. So this is the great reset. This is what we were talking about. The old OGs capitulating and leaving and passing the baton to the next generation of stakers and hodlers. And if I'm sounding like I'm a little bit weirdly bullish on Hex, well, I kind of am. And it's something that's brewing up inside me. You know, I trolled Hex, I trolled Richard for a long time. It was funny because I could see this whole thing imploding and nobody else could see it. And it's fun to troll. It's internet culture. What are you going to do? I'm a troll. You know what I mean? But now it's become a low self-esteem marathon. I just look at Twitter and everything that I foresaw 6 to 8 months ago came true. And it's actually kind of saddening me, right? We have huge division, huge infighting. We have a fractured off called Zen, fractured off Hexicans that hate each other, right? And we have Jack Levin, a brilliant guy, a smart guy, somebody I respect, okay? He's building an L1. I feel like it's a vendetta chain just to show Richard how it's done. You know what I mean? I still like tech. I like development. I like both communities. I don't mind them fighting. I don't mind that. I think the worst thing that could happen in the Hex community and the whole ecosystem around this is if people lose interest. So if you want to dig in and root for your favorite side, go ahead and do it. At least it's going to cause engagement, which is also bullish. Now, my sentiment is changing because I'm seeing everybody doing what I was already doing. Now, I am 6 to 8 months ahead of everybody on this, and I'm starting to think that maybe Hex is going to be the better option of this. I think it's going to come back with a vengeance. I think it's going to rip. I'm still interested in Zen. I'm not interested in choosing sides, okay? It's still cool development. I'm all about DeFi and crypto. And what I love the most is this is like the breeding grounds of real DeFi. This is where the innovation is happening right now. So this is where I am going to hang out, okay? Also, we have the Wolfpack NFTs, right? The Wolfpack NFTs are coming. I'm on the phone with the developer. I'm trying to think of some good token metrics, some good game theory. So come on in the chat and tell me what kind of NFT you want. Do you want it to have some sort of front end, some sort of interaction, some sort of pumpamental or anything like that? Okay, of course, they're going to channel members. So all you got to do is be a channel member. Wait, don't do it right now. Don't do it on a promise or anything like that. Let's make sure these things get out and they're good. Come into the chat, come hang out and talk, okay? But anyways, I want to say one more thing. We are this community right here. There's a lot of Hexicans and we know how to pump it. So hit that like button, write a comment, hit the sub button. Let's pump up this channel, all right, guys? Let's get in the comments, get excited, okay? Like and subscribe, join the Wolfpack, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.